At 21 years old, I was studying abroad in Australia for a year-long program. It was such an amazing experience, exploring, feeling free, living to the fullest, and meeting so many people from different parts of the world. I was having the time of my life until one night changed everything. It was a Saturday night in April, and I was having a blast at a 1950s themed house party. Everyone was laughing, dancing, and of course, drinking. One thing led to another, and I ended up getting into the backseat of a car with a drunk driver. About 30 seconds in, I felt a sharp turn and then blacked out. When I woke up, people were shuffling all around me, touching my body and trying to ask me questions. I was in the hospital. Everything was a big blur, but I remember one doctor approached me and told me they may need to amputate my left hand. But shortly after, I blacked out again. I heard him, but none of it registered. Nothing seemed real. The next time I woke up, I saw both my hands were heavily bandaged. I was like, whoa. At this point, I knew something bad had happened. I just didn't know what. That first week in the hospital was the worst week of my life. I couldn't move. I was in so much pain. I had so many unanswered questions, and I felt so alone in a foreign country with none of my family or close friends. Eventually, the pieces came together as I learned more about the car accident and my injuries. My left hand was crushed and needed to be reconstructed by taking nerve, muscle, and skin from my right leg. My right hand sustained all the nerve damage and also needed extensive care. I've had a total of 11 surgeries within a 4-year recovery period. And in that time, you bet I had my share of challenges. The loss of hand function and my original goals and plans derailed. I had to withdraw from my study abroad program and cut my experience short. A journey in which I was taking mini trips around Australia, learning a new culture and a different way of living, and gaining more independence and discovering myself. I had to withdraw from my entire school year, which delayed graduation and my move to Los Angeles to pursue an acting career. In addition to that, I was dealing with people staring and saying unnecessary remarks surrounding my newly constructed hands and scars. With these challenges, I've never felt more self-conscious, scared, ashamed, and just a complete failure. It is because we live in a world full of expectations, and I felt pressured daily to meet those expectations. I worried about how I should look, what path or timeline I should be on, who I need to satisfy, make proud, or not let down. The list went on. But also during my recovery, I realized, why not use my challenges, give them purpose, and turn them into fulfilling triumphs? And now, 12 years later, those fulfilling triumphs continue to bring me inner peace and gratitude. So, how did I turn my pain into purpose? By discovering and practicing these 3 powerful mindset shifts. Mindset shift number 1. Instead of believing I have no other choice, know that you have 2 choices. During my recovery, every day was the same. Dealing with the same mental and physical stress over and over. I believe this to be the very essence of my life is over. This is how my life is going to be forever. But whenever I went outside or looked out the window, the sky was different each day. One day the sun would shine, one day the clouds rolled in, one day the sky was blue, one day the sky was gray. Each day was not the same. The world continued to spin and move. And like how the world chooses to show up each day, I realized I had choices too. Specifically, 2 choices. Continue to sit and stew in the pessimistic soup, or move with the world, move with the flow of time. This meant not looking ahead and believing the circumstances and feelings will remain the same forever, but rather choosing to focus on the present day only, taking it one day at a time, one step at a time, one task at a time. Every day can be and feel different if you choose it to be. Mindset shift number 2. Instead of saying, why me? Ask, why not me? With the loss of hand function, I needed to relearn doing daily tasks such as getting dressed or using utensils. It's the most frustrating feeling when your brain already knows how to complete a daily task, but your hands do not anymore. One time, it took a good 5 minutes to slide my jeans on and try to button them until I needed to ask for help. And my hands no longer knew how to hold a knife and fork in order to cut food. Someone always needed to cut up my food for me as if I was a toddler. I hated asking for help with tasks so simple. To me, it meant losing a huge part of my freedom. So I kept thinking and saying to myself, why me? Why did this happen to me? A specific daily task I struggled with and cried about for a long time was simply putting my hair up in a ponytail. I have very long and thick hair, and there was no way I was going to cut it and allow this to be taken from me as well. So I asked, why not me? I can do this. I can figure out a way. This motivated me to focus on my healing. I attended every occupational therapy appointment, did my hand exercises every day, practiced moving my fingers in different ways, tried and failed some more, until I found a solution and succeeded in putting my hair up in a nice tight ponytail. So, turning around the question and asking, why not me? And then giving your challenge meaning by asking, what is this teaching me? Results in determination and finding solutions. There is always a valuable lesson in any challenge. What is your challenge teaching you? Maybe it's to build physical or mental strength. Perhaps it's to become resourceful and creative, to pave a new path, to become a new version of yourself, or simply to become better than who you were before. Mindset shift number 3. Instead of thinking, I'm alone in this, begin to be intentionally curious. The way I took action to be curious was simply telling my story little by little and comfortably showing my scars or injuries in public. This created relatable conversations and story swaps. I also celebrated my little wins, asked questions, and reached out for help. When I did this, I saw a clear domino effect. The more connections I made with others, the more awareness spread. When helpful advice was given and received, more growth happened in building communities, which only normalized everyday challenges and life's low points. Everyone has a story to tell. Everyone has a challenge to overcome. By practicing to accept what it is and being vulnerable enough to share your story and struggles, you realize and highlight the fact that we're never really alone. There is support in all shapes and forms out there. The key is to celebrate your truth while continuing to be wholeheartedly curious. With these mindset shifts, I began to feel more aligned and confident with my most authentic self. So I encourage you to practice these mindset shifts as well, because then these transformational shifts are what build your most powerful journey. Going from point A to point B, from pain to joy, the growth and lessons gained along the way, learning how to embrace your new identity. This transformational journey, your authentic journey, is your superpower. No one else has your journey, so no one else has your superpower. And when you choose to actively recognize your superpower and own it proudly each and every day, you break those barriers set upon you. Overpowering existing expectations, or what I like to call society's spotlight is done by shining your own spotlight back at it. So go out into the world with all your superpower might and shine bright.